ideal would be there'd be a comprehensive one-stop shop, but it just does not exist.
Oh, did I give something away?
You did.
Oh, no.
Stick with the program.
Oh, man.
Final one. And I think this is probably an overlooked resource. All right, today we are going to be doing our top 10 resources for RVers.
There you go. You need to have these when you're on the road.
Exactly. So especially if you're a full-timer or you spend at least half of your time on the road.
Or if you're thinking about getting on the road on a regular basis.
True.
This is great for research and get going.
Yes. We always see people asking the same questions over and over. And rather than sort of one and done and answer those questions, we are going to give you 10 of our favorite resources that we use to find places to overnight, to stop, services, etc.
Etc. Let's go for it.
All right. I'm going to put right at the top of the list the All Stays Camp and RV app.
There you go.
Now, there is a small fee to the app. I have an old version because I've had it for so many years. And it is on my iPad mini. So surprisingly, we don't use it as often as I'd like to. I do wish if I had it on the phone, we likely would. It gives like all sorts of information. It gives private campgrounds, KOAs, state campgrounds, national campgrounds, state forests, national forests. It gives Walmarts that have no overnight, Walmarts that have Asta Park, Cracker Barrels, Costco's, Cabela's, Camping World.
So what you're saying is it's well worth it. It's well worth it.
I'm saying it has so many little icons.
Oh, if you like icons, this is your heaven.
Exactly. But you do have to be connected to a signal for the map to load, and it auto senses where you are. You can key in other places and plan ahead. It gives locations for propane, dump stations, other things. So you're saying this is a one-stop shop app. This
has everything.
We use it very infrequently. What I end up using it for most, because it is difficult to find this in other apps or resources, and that is for height restrictions. Believe it or not.
Oh, well, and I've heard some people who, are driving around, they go, oh, and they come to this bridge and they're kind of going, oh, we can't get under this.
Well, if you are operating off of just a regular car GPS or, your Apple Maps or your Google Maps, just regular car directions, it isn't going to point out height restrictions. Usually specific trucker GPS apps are the ones that will have those restrictions. So it's always good if you think there might be height restrictions. That is what I primarily use that app for.
Well, kind of like Acadia, where there's bridges that were built and you want to go under, but you can't go on certain roads in Acadia because of height restrictions.
Yes. So it is an excellent app to have in your toolkit. Why it doesn't get used more often, honestly, is because it doesn't have comprehensive information. It will link you to that campground's website or that place's website, but it doesn't necessarily have updated reviews and detailed information that's important when selecting a location.
And we like to look at the latest information.
Yes. So it's good. It's a good guideline and place to start if you don't mind paying a little bit of money for it.
There you go.
All right. Jumping into the next one here. Free. We like free.
Free. We like it.
So that's where we're going next. And our top apps or websites for free overnight information, freecampsites.net.
There you go.
Very simple. It's a map based, and you type in the search bar the place you want to look, and it brings up blue or green icons.
There you go. Oh, more icons.
and you can just kind of click on those and see the information, click through. It has a bunch of different types of places in that app. but again, it's not comprehensive. Like, it doesn't have all warm-ups. It doesn't have any Cracker Barrels. It doesn't have all rest areas. So it is limited in the information that it has, but it is another resource that you can use in your planning.
You need to have a toolbox with many different tools in it.
Yes. The other big one that you'll hear a lot of people use is Campendium. We don't have the paid version. The free version works just fine.
Yes.
And it is like freecampsites.net, and works essentially the same way. It has a little bit more information, meteor reviews, more locations, because it also includes paid campground locations. So, if that's the way you want to go, you can find that there at Campendium.
Exactly.
Now, I will briefly address other people, two other big names, The Dirt and iOverlander. I don't necessarily find to be as user friendly. I know a lot of people love those apps, and people do pay the extra money to get the Pro on The Dirt. But again, there are other resources we use to supplement the gaps of the two I just mentioned.
There you go.
And they're free.
Free. Can't argue with free.
All right. Before we continue on this list, we're going to take a quick break.
Quick break.
Tell you to smash that like button. It helps more people see our video and our channel continue to grow.
Ring our bell, as we always say, and visit our website, twobearstrekking.com. It gives you access to the eBay site for Randy and my photography site. Find some fun information there.
All right. So going back to my list. All right. So we mentioned Casino Camper, and that will specifically talk about casinos, but we've said it is not comprehensive. You'll find some casinos listed on free campsites and also Campendium. It's not something you'll find in all stays. So it's a reason why you do also need to supplement, but Casino Camper is a good place to start.
Can't you also just go into your search engine with regards to your maps and say nearest casino and maybe give them a call?
Yes, and that is further down on the list.
Oh, did I give something away?
You did.
Oh, no.
Stick with the program.
Oh, man.
Going off script.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So the next one is really the next step typically in this process, and that is RV Parky. RVPARKY.com.
Parky.
Yeah, it's a very basic website. Again, a lot of these are user driven. And why I like user driven websites is because they're more up to date, because people have sent in updates, have made updates, have given updated comments. And so RV Parky is good for narrowing down Walmarts and Cracker Barrels and some casinos and rest areas. And it also has paid campgrounds. And if you click through it, it'll tell you what the current situation is, what you need to do for that particular location. I will find it's 95% accurate with respect to Cracker Barrels and Walmarts being updated with respect to whether they do or don't allow parking. Now, whether the website has actually changed the flag based on the comments is a whole different thing. So you do have to click through to those comments. And it ranks them by distance. So if you put in, for example, Hershey, Pennsylvania, it's going to give you the closest spots and then works its way out from there. The other thing is interstate rest area. It is a comprehensive listing of all rest areas, typically for the interstates they cover. They do not cover every single one, but all the major ones, and it lists them by state. So you can see by mile marker, northbound or southbound or both. And then it also, in another part of the site, it gives you the rest area rules as far as time, overnighting, etc., for that particular state. Some of the obvious ones now, if you're looking to stay in Bureau of Land Management land or U.S. Forest Service land, go to those specific websites. Okay, Recreation.gov, if it's a listed campground, that's a small fee. for a BLM campground, you'll find it on Recreation.gov. If it's dispersed camping you're looking for, a lot of the apps we've previously mentioned will talk about the major dispersed camping areas. You can go to the specific district for Bureau of Land Management or U.S. Forest Service to pull up the maps. You can download them. It depends on the district, what form they come in, PDF, an interactive app, etc. And you can do your own research.
Always do your own research.
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Check, check, double check before you go.
Yes.
All right. So the last two things. One, you've mentioned. So we talked
What
about...
did I mention? Did I mention something earlier?
Pull up your map app. So whether you use Google Maps or iMaps from Apple or Waze or some other application, go ahead, pull that map up and just type in rest area, welcome center, Walmart, Cracker Barrel, and then
campgrounds even if you really want to do that.
Right. And those maps, because they are there's an ad component in some respects to them. You don't necessarily get everything, but you do get the majority of the options. Okay. So,
and those usually come just on a phone or a pad or something like that.
Right. So pretty simple. Now, the final one, and I think this is probably an overlooked resource. And this isn't necessarily doing the research yourself, but asking other people, what they've done. And that is, we belong to several Facebook groups for RV boondocking, RV boondocking free camping, boondocking for big rigs, are just a few of those. And you will see people asking all the time. I just answered a question this morning. Somebody was looking to stay somewhere near Holbrook, Arizona. And I'm like, boom, we did our video on Crystal Forest at the south entrance to Petrified Forest. That's right outside of Holbrook, Arizona. And I just, put a quick comment there, and a couple of people chimed in with other things. And so that's a great resource if you need an answer quick and you're having a hard time and you're not really sure the status of the places you're finding, or you're not quite sure how to do the research.
Because people are always on those Facebook groups, and they're more than willing to help. Just like we're more than willing to give you information that helps you as you're out, doing boondocking and RVing.
Exactly. So hopefully you will check out the resources that we mentioned in this video, and hopefully you'll find them helpful.
Absolutely.
If you have other resources that you really love, and we haven't mentioned them here, drop a comment below.
Absolutely.
And we'll check them out as well. And in the meantime,
keep on trekking.